Hi everyone, welcome to Sportsworld. I'm Brendan Connor. We're coming to you this week from America. We're in some of the rugged desert area just outside Phoenix, Arizona, a city that is playing host to the biggest event on the American sports calendar. And that would be the Super Bowl. We'll take a look at Phoenix's preparations for the big game, the parties, the atmosphere, and of course the matchup between the unbeaten Patriots and the upstart New York Giants. We'll examine the possible impact of the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL, all testing the waters in the UK this past season. And Turkish delight. Hedo Turkoglu leads the Orlando Magic of the NBA. Hi everyone, welcome again to Sports World. I'm Brendan Connor, coming to you this week on a special show from Phoenix, Arizona. This is a kind of a rugged part of the Southwest American desert. The city of Phoenix has been built out of this desert, and this city is also getting ready to host quite a party, the biggest event on the American sports calendar. And that, of course, is the Super Bowl. The greater Phoenix area is America's fifth largest city, a population of 2.5 million and growing. It's known for its year-round warm weather and attracts millions of visitors every year. They come for the golf courses and for the general desert charm of the state of Arizona. Second time Phoenix has hosted the Super Bowl, but this time it'll be staged in a new, futuristic, state-of-the-art stadium complete with a retractable roof. It's built in the city's outskirts. One of the busiest areas of Phoenix will be Scottsdale, with its native art galleries and boutique shopping, as well as plenty of nightlife.
From all over the world, all over the country. Scottsdale is ready for it. Even though it's in Glendale, Glendale is growing too, but Scottsdale is ready to party too. Perfect weather for everyone to be out and about. Plenty of patios at the bars and the restaurants, and I think we're more than ready for a Super Bowl party here.
Finishing touches are still being made to the interactive fan display area known as the NFL Experience, right beside the stadium. Here, people can try their skills at various parts of American football.
We're going to bring in the NFL players, and we have a kicking machine. So you kick a football into the box. Once it hits a sensor in the box, it goes up onto the Samsung TVs. You can see whether you made the field goal or not.
So there is a little something for everyone here in Phoenix, and there'll be plenty to do as fans and holiday makers from across the country flock to this desert oasis. The Super Bowl seems in good hands in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, as is always the case, the Super Bowl game itself will draw thousands and thousands of people to this gigantic stadium on the outskirts of Phoenix, and there'll be millions more watching on television. In fact, the organizers say the potential TV audience around the world is 1 billion people. And there'll be the regular Super Bowl parties, a lot of Super Bowl wagering, but football fans in America will have the added intrigue this year of watching to see if the New England Patriots can indeed win the title without a single loss the entire season.
It's been a record-breaking season for the New England Patriots. The Patriots have been the team of the decade in American football, winning 3 Super Bowl trophies in the last 6 years, and they now stand on the verge of history.
We now have one more game to be part of ever. That's special.
But this year's march to the title game has been different. They've won every match they've played. Not since the 1972 Miami Dolphins has a team come through a grueling 4-month season without a loss. Add to those 16 straight victories 2 playoff wins, and they're here in Phoenix. Only the New York Giants stand between the Patriots and an unheard-of 19-0 season record.
Glad we have a week off here, regroup a little bit, and try to, elevate our game for one last performance. It's going to be our toughest game of the season, and I'm glad it's some warm weather. I'm glad it's weather won't be a factor, and should be exciting. Every time I've played in a Super Bowl, I've cherished that, and it never gets old.
Led by quarterback Tom Brady, the Patriots and their fans have had to come through some scares along the way, nearly losing to Baltimore and to the Giants in the regular season. So the Boston-based franchise know they can't take anything for granted.
I mean, it's the best thing we got in our league. It's the best thing we got in our business. So that's what we shoot for every year, is to make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So I know guys are excited to be here, be AFC champions, but you know, we still got work to do and we still got another game to win.
The Giants will be no pushovers in the Super Bowl. They've hit their stride at the right time, winning 10 straight away games. But Brady and company are favoured to win the championship and complete the perfect season to set a record that may never be equalled. James Pratt, Al Jazeera.
One of the more common types of plant life you find in and around Phoenix and Arizona, of course, the desert cactus. A very typical sight everywhere you go in this city, in this state. You know, what was not a very typical sight, though, last October was the sight of the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins running out onto the pitch at Wembley Stadium in London as the NFL played a regular season game overseas for the first time ever. And the NFL was not the only league to try its luck in the UK. Al Jazeera's Carrie Brown now with more on the impact of those visits and what they might someday lead to.
NFL, NHL, NBA, landing in London to court the attention of Britain's football-focused sports fans. The NFL's invasion of Wembley, England's home of football, providing the starkest contrast. The Dolphins and New York Giants running onto the field for the sellout game in a blaze of glory. Just hours after arriving in London, it was clear the NFL's plan to hold a regular season fixture in Britain had caught the media's imagination. A media which was previously reluctant to embrace anything but its own brand of football.
I've been over to Europe and I've been to London actually a couple times, and I was actually very surprised the fact that, you know, American football isn't that big over here. I mean, not even big. I mean, people don't even know what it is.
The players had to escape the media circus to train for their competitive game, so the NFL constructed an 80-metre animatronic replica of Dolphins defensive star Jason Taylor to promote the NFL across the south of England. We snatched a moment with the flesh and bones version who revealed how he explains the game to the British public.
The speed, athleticism and grace of soccer with the toughness of rugby ×2.
On game day, the weather was typically English, but the NFL had planned ahead, attempting to recreate Miami's traditional pre-match party inside.
Great day, great day.
Go Giants!
Go Giants!
To be quite honest, we've been waiting for an event like this ever since they stopped doing the American Bowls at Wembley about 15 years ago. So it's really fantastic to see it back.
In the stadium, the expectant atmosphere could not be dampened by the driving rain, but the conditions made for messy, muddy football. The Giants triumphed 13-10 to become the first team in NFL history to win a regular season game outside North America.
The rain kind of messed the field up a little bit, but it was a great atmosphere. Beautiful stadium. The fans were in it from the beginning to the end, and it was a great atmosphere. Can't wait to come do it again if we had the opportunity to.
Wembley and its fans impressed the players, while the game gained a new following. NFL television ratings have risen by 40% in the UK, and the NFL has confirmed that it will return to Great Britain in 2008.
Game day here in London has proven a great success, but what impact will it really have on the NFL in Europe?
At Wembley's pre-game party, fans were encouraged to try out the sport, but in reality the NFL is a world away from the British grassroots game. Meet the London Blitz. The players have full-time jobs and are struggling for sponsorship. They're the British champions. They'd hoped to recruit more players into the sport at the Wembley event, but surprisingly were not granted access to promote their team.
We weren't allowed to do such a thing. We did hand out flyers outside Wembley Stadium on the Empire Way, and we were told to stop, which we were a bit disappointed about, because I would have thought that if you want to promote the sport in this country, then we're the ideal people to be promoting it. We've got a passionate interest in the game, and we want to get more people involved in it.
The NHL went one better than the NFL, bringing reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Anaheim Ducks, over to London for their season opener against the Los Angeles Kings, whose coach believes there's no better way to attract a new audience than exposing them to the heat of the ice.
Our game in person is a wonderful game to see. You can't help but feel the energy coming from the ice. And now that television is doing such a great job of covering our sport, I think we're being seen by more people all over the world. And the more people we can expose to our product, I think the more people that will get turned on to it.
The fans concurred.
We've never seen this many people at a hockey game in this country. You know, we're used to half-empty arenas. This is great. Love it.
British supporters certainly seem satisfied, but NHL fans that travel from Eastern Europe, where the sport has such a big following, did question why their cities couldn't host the season opener. Well, the answer is simple, and it's right here. The O2 Arena was bought and reopened by the owner of the Los Angeles Kings, Philip Anschutz, who designed the arena to hold world-class sport and music events. The NBA held a pre-season game here in 2007 and has already confirmed a return in 2008, while the arena itself has become the world's leading entertainment venue, twice outselling Madison Square Garden.
The way to really engage, I think, in Europe is to bring the top world-class athletes from those sports across here, and we sold out the hockey matches, the ice hockey matches and the NBA game last year. If the sports want to build a base in Europe, I think London and the O2 Arena is exactly the sort of venue that will help them to do that, and I certainly think with the NBA and the NHL they've got aspirations to do a lot more both here and in Europe.
Taking a regular season game to Europe was a big gamble for both the NFL and NHL, but it's paid off, and now the NBA looks certain to join this global phenomenon. Carrie Brown, Al Jazeera, London.
And just a reminder, you can keep up to date with all the stories and scores on our website at aljazeera.net/English. And we invite you to stay with us for more Sports World. Coming up after the break, a young man from Turkey who is really tearing it up in the NBA.